My name is Constable Jason Doucette. My last name is Doucette. I'm a media relations officer here at the Vancouver Police Department. I've got a couple things to talk about today, but we're going to start off with the Vancouver Police were searching for additional victims in a string of indecent acts throughout the city in July. The Vancouver Police made an arrest in July after receiving reports of a man exposing himself to young women throughout the city. Investigators now believe that there are potentially more than 60 additional victims who have not yet come forward to police and made a report. Between July 6th and July 18th, the VPD began receiving reports of a man driving around in a pickup truck approaching young girls and teenagers. I'll say that again just so we're clear. So between July 6th and July 18th, the VPD started receiving reports of young teenagers and young women being approached on the sidewalk by a man in a truck who would pull up and try to engage them in conversation. Once they'd engaged in conversation, he would draw their attention to the inside of the vehicle where he was masturbating. After seeing the reaction, he would simply drive off. There has not been any reports to date that this man tried to make any physical contact with these young women. Shortly after receiving a 911 call on July 18th about a similar incident, our officers were able to locate and arrest a suspect on West 17th near McDonald Street. An analysis of the suspect's cell phone has revealed approximately 30 additional video recorded incidents that happened in Vancouver, with an additional approximately 60 unidentified potential victims who've not yet made a report to police. We're asking those women to come forward. Analysis of the suspect's cell phone revealed approximately 30 additional incidents that have not yet been reported to police. The footage shows an additional 60 unidentified young women who were tricked into seeing this guy masturbate. Officers have continued their investigation after the initial arrest and have determined that the suspect had set up a cellular phone in his truck prior to making contact with these young women. He'd get their attention, draw their attention in towards the vehicle where they'd see him masturbate. These women were unsuspecting. They did the right thing by backing off. Some of them did call the police, and we're asking the remainder of the women who may have been a victim of this or were witnesses to give us a call. 28-year-old Vancouver resident Trevor John Kurjata has been charged with 5 counts of committing an indecent act in a public place and 1 count of exposing his genitals to a person under the age of 16 years old. He's been released from custody on very strict court-imposed conditions. Anyone with information about these incidents is asked to contact the Vancouver Police Sex Crimes Unit at 604-717-0604 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I'm just going to show you a quick map here, just a layout, to give you an idea for our residents. I think this is important. In some of these incidents, having chatted with the investigators, our experts in our sex crimes unit, some of these women and young girls may have witnessed this person masturbating, saw these indecent acts, and indeed thought it was gross, thought it was inappropriate, but were unsure that it was necessary to call the police. We are asking these people to contact the Vancouver Police Department and make a report so we can piece together exactly what happened here. You'll see on this map that this is just between July 6th and July 18th, the number of dots are throughout the city. They're on the west side, they're on the east side, and they're north and south. So we're asking people to have a conversation with your families, especially if you see a dot near your residence or your place of work where young people in your life frequent. Have the healthy conversation. It's never too late to call the police. We want to hear from you.
Any possibility he may have gone outside of Vancouver?
There's definitely a possibility of that. We are looking at one additional offense that occurred in, I think it was Coquitlam or Port Coquitlam. We're working with our partner agencies in the RCMP and other municipal forces to see if there's any similarities.
Is there any evidence to suggest that the videos may have left his cell phone and he may have uploaded them to the internet? Because that introduces a whole nother...
There's no indication from our analysis that these videos left his cell phone, that they were shared or anything like that. There's no information of that, but we are continuing our investigation at this point, and we're asking anyone with information about this to give us a call.
What are strict courts conditions?
What we do when we suggest conditions to the courts, and then the courts make up their own conditions, but in offenses like this, it would be no go, no contacts, so no go to certain areas, no contacts with certain people or certain age groups, sometimes curfews, any places where children or young women are expected to congregate. Those are all appropriate conditions in these circumstances. Ultimately, it's up to Crown Council to impose those, and they did in these circumstances.
How do we ensure that these things don't happen?
Without going into it in too much detail, the Vancouver Police take these types of offenses very serious. We have mechanisms in place that will assist in monitoring anybody that we feel is out in our community that has committed offenses that may need some monitoring.
Was he targeting any specific areas?
As I showed, I'll just show you one more time here just so we're all on the same page. So we're looking on the west side here. So this is about Blenheim, McDonald, West 10th to the 25th, 41st Avenue. Then you're all the way over to the east to Boundary Road here on the side. We have East 1st Avenue, Hastings, all the way up to 51st Avenue. He was all over the place. He was in a truck at the time of these offenses. We're asking people to, if you were a victim of this crime, if you witnessed anything, give us a call. No detail is too small in this file.
Details about the truck?
This is the same person?
Yes.
Very prolific.
It's a very short period of time that we know about. We're talking July 16th to July 18th. And we believe that there's still over 60 additional victims out there who've not yet made a report to police.
Do we have any details on the truck that he was driving, and in the event that helps jog someone's memory?
Yeah, in this particular circumstance, we're releasing the locations where we believe that these incidents took place. We're not releasing specifics about the truck because we'd like to hear that from the victims to come forward to us. We're not releasing a physical description. You're going to remember if someone exposed and this sort of thing happened to you. We're here to help you, and we want to hear from you.
I guess you would get these locations from the metadata from the photos. Like, how would you know of all these locations?
Well, as I said, we did seize a cell phone. We got a court order or a search warrant to search this phone. And the data, a lot of the information that's on photographs and video recordings is date timed and geo-stamped. All right, thank you.
You already
sorry.
have a few women that have called.
That's right.
In this case, what difference would it make to have many more?
It's very important that anybody who's been a victim of a crime makes a report with their local police. It's very difficult for the police to do anything about these incidents unless we know about them. Now that we have the information from the cellular phones, we're here to help these people who now know that they've been a victim of a crime. They may have witnessed something that they just shrugged off initially, but it's very important in these type of offenses to let the police know. So not only can we identify who's responsible, but what steps we could possibly take in the future to prevent them from happening to others. Okay.
Another subject?
Yeah, we were able to move on. Is everybody finished with that one?
Okay, do you have something?
No, you go ahead.
I'm going to read these two questions follow-up. Global's running a report showing one woman's negative experience with a cab company in Vancouver last weekend. We know police became involved and settled the issue civilly. What's your advice to others who may find themselves in a similar situation going forward?
I can't speak specifically to this incident. I did see the media coverage on it. We ask anyone who feels that their safety is in jeopardy at any point to contact their local police. If it happens to be in a professional cab company, have a discussion with the driver. Let them know your wishes that you'd like to pull over. Start informal. If you can do that, encourage the driver to pull over. Let them know you're not comfortable. If that doesn't work, immediately call 911. We're here to help you. We will respond.
And a follow-up. Yellow Cab says it's routine protocol for them to send other cab drivers to back up their colleagues, as officers can sometimes take up to 20 minutes to respond. How do you respond to that?
The Vancouver Police will respond to 911 calls. We prioritize our calls. We will get there as soon as we can. We continue to have our callers on the line typically, and we will judge the situation, because every situation is different. But we will attend. Moving forward, with your second part of your question with the drivers and notifying other drivers to come by, there are powers and numbers that can be intimidating. These are professional drivers who are often faced with very difficult situations. Not every situation requires the immediate attendance of the police or other drivers, I'm sure. But I think it's important for these guys to have a safeguard in place. with the particular footage that you're talking about, I'm not sure what was appropriate in that situation. But I will say that there's been other circumstances where taxi drivers have been assaulted, bus drivers have been assaulted, and they're there to support each other and to be witnesses. Anything else? Anything else? Some people were asking about the shooting this morning. I can give you a quick I don't have anything to add outside the shooting, but okay. Oh, look at all this white stuff from the board I put on me. So just before 11 o'clock on Wednesday night, Vancouver Police received several 911 calls reporting shots fired in the area of Carroll Street and East Pender in Vancouver. Our officers arrived to locate a 46-year-old man suffering from gunshot wounds. He was rushed to hospital in serious condition. He is expected to make a recovery. No arrests have been made up to this point, but based on the information that's been collected so far, detectives believe this was a targeted shooting. Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Thanks for letting me know about the white on my shirt. Have a great day.